everybody, it's me, Susan Blackwell, and today I'm side by side one of my favorite Broadway cowgirls. Look, everybody, it's Betty Buckley. Hi, Betty Buckley.
Hi, Susie.
But we're not alone today. We've got some friends with us.
This is Ben. This is Ben, my German Shepherd dog, and this is Maggie, my Sheltie.
Maggie.
Who came with us to New York from the ranch.
Do you know that I have only walked a dog like twice in my life?
No.
That's a true story.
Well, today will be 3.
Today will be 3 with these lovelies. Mm-hmm. So, who's got 2 thumbs and loves Betty Buckley? This guy. But Betty Buckley spends a lot of her time on her ranch in Texas. So the times when she's in New York are very rare and special. What brings you to New York this time around, lady?
We came in to do the Old Friends, the world premiere of Horton Foote's The Old Friends at Signature Theater. And we opened several weeks ago.
Y'all need to go see that.
It got rave reviews, and we've been extended 3 times through October 20th.
You play an excellent drum.
Thank you.
Really, really
good.
Thanks. Is that you know,
it
like
just
that's
comes
not
naturally.
In 1966, you were crowned Miss Fort Worth. What the was your talent program, Betty Buckley?
I sang Rose of Washington Square.
What's that?
Well, it was the song that this great showman, Charlie Meeker, assigned me when I worked at Six Flags Over Texas. I was in the campus
My
review.
research did not surface Six Flags Over Texas.
I mean, that's where I paid my dues. I mean, until you've sung at the amphitheater at Six Flags Over Texas. That one summer we did that, and the next summer I was at the Crazy Horse Saloon, and we did...
Do you do like 17 shows a day?
No, we did 8 shows a day, and on the long day, when the other crew took off, we do 12. And so... But until you're singing Full Tilt Boogie and a bug flies in your mouth and you keep singing, you spit it out between notes.
You are
not a survivor in the musical theater until then.
So did you sing? You sang that song?
I sang Rose in Washington Square, and when he gave it to me, I was like, why this song? You know, I never did understand its appeal. But they wrote this great arrangement, and it was a showstopper. So I did that for them.
It might have been because you were singing it.
Oh, no, thank you.
It could have been Itsy Bitsy Spider, and people
No, but you're so sweet.
How does it go?
Rose of Washington Square, a flower so fair, should the sunshine rose, for nature did not mean that you should blush unseen, but be the queen of some fair garden. Rose of Washington Square.
Miss Fort Worth, 1966. How about it?
It was a big showstopper. I don't know. It was a funny thing.
Here's me having Betty Buckley teach me how to walk a dog.
Heel, Maggie.
It's a good life.
Now just pulling back a little bit. Just a little
just
tug.
a little
You
up.
say heel.
Heel. He's saying no, Susan.
Like,
Go
no, Susan.
yourself. I feel like I can define the chapters of my life according to the Betty Buckley entertainment I was enjoying at that time of my life. Let's start it out with 8 is Enough. That show was my motherfucking jam.
Really?
I loved that show.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have any good stories about those kids or that show, or how you were secretly dating Grant Goodeve? What do you got?
Oh, I had a bit of a crush on Willie Ames. I thought he was like the up-and-coming James Dean, and I just thought he was a wonderful little actor. I mean, I loved all of them, and Adam was a sweetheart. I went to a party with Penny Marshall was there, and Penny Marshall comes over, she goes, I've seen you on that show, and she goes, you need to add a little spice and mischief. She said, I think you should have a food fight. And I said, brilliant, a food fight. And so I go back and I pitched the food fight. I said, Penny Marshall said we should have a food fight.
Penny Marshall says we should have a food fight.
Have a food fight, and they're all like, oh, okay. Well, Penny Marshall, so it took them a really long time to write that script. So then they did, and I was so excited because Abby was going to be in the food fight. And then the day of the food fight came, and they said, no, Betty, we just heard from Standards and Practices, and you're a role model, you can't be in the food fight. I was heart sunk, but I threw food off camera. I was just I was off camera in the
just bound and
in the
determined
center
to
of
be
the fray.
part of it.
Yeah, it was
you
pretty
pitched
funny.
and they didn't even let you do it.
I know. I was just like, that's crazy.
That is heartbreaking.
I know.
So next up was Hair. I checked the VHS of Hair out of the library, and I watched it over and over and over and over again after school. That was my after school jam. I loved Hair. I never thought of it until I read that you had done it, and then I went back and I watched it. Roll this clip, and it's totally Betty Buckley. Listen to this.
My body is walking in space.
I don't believe I didn't recognize that voice before now.
That's funny.
It's straight up you. And once you know it's Betty Buckley, you will, you can never think otherwise.
Thanks, Susan.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Then Cats. I listened to that album over and over and over and over and over and over again until I had it memorized. It is a point of pride. Was that a fun thing for you? Were you sick of doing like 8 times a week putting that makeup on your face?
No, it was great.
Come on.
No, some of the cats had these really intricate paintings, their faces, and it would take them 2 hours or an hour and a half to do just their makeup every night. And mine was like a charcoal sketch, and it took about 9 minutes. A lot of the times I was late for a half hour. And the stage manager would get really annoyed with me, and I would say, but it only takes me 9 minutes to get ready. They were like, it does not. And I was like, yeah, it does.
Time it.
And so we bet, and everybody in the theater put money into this like lottery about how long it would take me to do my makeup. So the appointed day arrived, and I hit the theater, came in through, checked in. As I entered the theater, the stage manager was there with a stopwatch, and it was like from full winter gear into full cat's bodysuit, cat makeup, wig. 9 minutes flat. And I won all this like money because of this bet with the stage manager. And then after that, they never gave me a bad time because it was like, the joke was that I threw my makeup in the air and ran under it. So I was like, like this.
You also have had this like rockin' film career.
Oh, thank you.
Of all the things that you have done on camera, what are you the most proud of?
Probably Tender Mercies. You know, that movie, that script, Horton Foote,
So
Bruce
classy.
Beresford. It was just a brilliant movie, a classic film. It was such a gift. And then I, got Cats, and that same year. And Tender Mercies came out, Cats opened, Cats was a hit. I won the Tony. It was like, I died
What
and
year
gone to
was
heaven.
that?
1982.
Betty Buckley, big year.
Big year.
Woo.
Mhm. Yeah, it was a big year.
I want to do a Betty Buckley lightning round.
Okay,
You ready?
uh-oh,
Put some
uh-oh.
time on the clock.
Oh my God.
I don't know what we're timing, but here we go. You were inducted into the Theater Hall of Fame in 2013. Which gay bar is that located in? Oh!
Excellent.
What is the highest note you have ever sang in public?
This is pretty funny. At the end of Song and Dance, or at the end of, was it Unexpected? Yeah, da 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 dee da. Is that Unexpected Song? I can't remember. It was the opening night of my short little run in Song and Dance. I did it for the last 6 weeks of the show on Broadway. And my voice teacher was there. He was on about the 5th row aisle in the 5th row, Paul Gabbert. And the note at the end of the song is a G. And I was so scared because I'd learned the show so fast that I was like, I felt like I was like, whoa,
shot out of a cannon. Yeah.
like dizzy from the adrenaline. And so when I got to the end of that song, I belted the G as opposed to let it flip up into my head voice, and which probably is pretty close to impossible, but I did it. And because of the adrenaline, it was like a mother lifting a car off the baby, And the audience, I'll never forget the audience. They all looked like that Memorex commercial where they all blown backwards. I mean, everybody just went, oh, like blown backwards in their seats.
Was it good? Was it quality?
Yeah, I nailed it, but it's like only once. It'll only be once ever. And my teacher was horrified. He comes backstage, and the first thing he said to me is, he said, "Don't ever do that again." And I was like, I know. I just was like, I had so much adrenaline. It was hilarious.
You were highly adrenal. You live on a ranch. You have a donkey. What is the name of the donkey?
Rosie O'Donkey. We say that with great love, and I hope if Rosie O'Donnell knows that I named my donkey Rosie O'Donkey, I hope she knows we did that with enormous love.
If somebody named their donkey after me, I would take it as nothing but a compliment.
It's a huge compliment because we think of Rosie O'Donnell every day, and every time we call her Rosie
O'Donkey.
O'Donkey, we start laughing. We're like, we love Rosie. our donkey's adorable.
Oh, I love donkeys.
She's so sweet.
Jealous. It's time for Susan's Super Fantasy Jukebox. You have sung so many songs that I love so much. Songs like Meadowlark and My Friends and Writing on the Wall, just to name a few. So I've got your nose, Betty Buckley. I've got Betty Buckley's nose, and you can have it back. But first you have to sing me a little piece of each of those songs.
Of what?
Ready? Writing on the Wall. Doesn't have to be the end. Just a piece
I have read the writing on the wall. Try to live forever and give up never. The fight, you'll need the wherewithal. Can't you see the lightning as we inviting
Yes.
you to read the writing on Ottawa.
All right, great. My friends, Sweeney Todd.
These are my friends.
This is the greatest day in the world.
See how they glisten. See this one shine, how he smiles in the light. My friend, my faithful friend.
Okay, Meadowlark.
When I was a girl, I had a favorite story of the meadowlark who lived where the rivers wind. Her voice could match the angels in its glory, but she was blind, the lark was blind. So the king of the rivers took her to his palace, where the walls were burnished bronze and golden rayed, and he fed her fruit and nuts in an ivory chalice, and he prayed, sing for me, oh meadowlark.
You can have your nose back.
Thank you.
This has been another amazing Side by Side by Susan Blackwell with Betty Buckley. Go see The Old Friends at the Signature Theater. How long's that running?
October 20th is the last one.
You got to check it out.
Thank you, Susie. Love you.
Love her. Oh my God.